rose from their graves and menaced humans.
Let me guess. The humans ran like rats and hid until dawn.
It gets better.
What's the ending?
Bloody and terrible.
As if they would ever face us.
Sire show up and shred the ghosts.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Today is going to be pretty cool. I really enjoyed this story that we're about to roll into. We are continuing with Chapter 2 on Tyric's Ripjaw Legionnaire Extraordinaire. The warrior with the muscle. I was trying to make that rhyme. I couldn't think of anything. So yeah, we're in the middle of a pretty intriguing story. Our father seems to have got himself into quite a bit of mess here. So, bit of background. Basically, the humans and the Char are trying to negotiate peace talks and, you know, put an end to this war. But there are various people out there who don't like the sound of that. The separatists on the human side, the renegades on the Char side. And meanwhile, with that as the backdrop, our father has been doing something fairly suspicious. The Char have in their possession an idol to Balthazar that is supposed to be extremely powerful. And if it falls into the wrong hands, it could put a lot of stress on the peace talks. Needless to say, our father has just gone missing with the idol, which is a real cause for concern. Our father's old warband, we just met at the end of the last episode asking them what they know about his disappearance, and nobody really knows, but they're all just as keen to figure out as we are, and they've led us to an old friend, or they've told us about an old friend of our father's who may have a little bit more information, who is who we are going to visit next. Sadly, I've unlocked barely any waypoints, so we're going to be coming down here, not too far away, honestly, but back to Ferritas and back to being near Baradin's vault, and we're going on a little bit of an adventure. It's much more dark and scary and ghostly around here. So yeah, that's the idea right now. And this plot really extends into some very cool decisions we get to make. I really enjoy this one, actually. And sort of spirals a little bit out of control before it gets much better. So yeah, we'll have to see how we feel about it. As a warrior at the moment, we're sword shield. I'm going to use Savage Leap here to jump over this and get away from these ghosts. We've just hit level 20, really, which means we've got access to a lot of cool stuff. And in fact, we just hit 21, which means we've unlocked some specializations, which should be very badass. Look, we've got some earth. Shall we fight these earth elementals? So you notice these guys, they're actually a lot sturdy, and quite often you can't knock them down and do things.
Adrenaline rise.
So you got to be sort of careful. But look at this massive, meaty hits we get. Something about blowing up earth elementals like that with blunt damage just feels so good in RPGs. So yeah, we'll try and avoid dossing around for too long here. But yeah, we just hit level 21 and we get some specializations. So remember, on an elementalist, we chose to specialize fire, and we got all those cool fire passives. But as a warrior, you don't really have attunements, right? You get all kinds of different stuff. So how does that work? Well, let's have a little bit of a look, shall we? Let's just hope we're not being chased by anything scary. There's a scout over there we could listen to learn a bit more about this area, but I guess we won't worry too much. So what have we got? Specializations, we have strength, we have arms, we have defense, tactics, or discipline. What I think I'm going to do first is discipline. So discipline is a bit like, do you remember how Elementals had fire, earth, water, but then it had like a sort of a fifth line, the arcane line? Well, this is kind of like the arcane line for warrior. It's about general warrior-y things, okay? So we've got 20 unspent hero points, so that means we can buy all the way down here, okay? So I'll just buy all this distance into the wheel. We'll unlock a ton of stuff, and then we'll just immediately go over to our build here. We've got the slot, we equip discipline, and voila, we get to see what we get. So our first passive is this. We get adrenaline on weapon swap. So that's great. What that means is when we're in a fight on our sword and shield, when we swap to the hammer in combat, it immediately helps us charge our Earthshaker. Or if we swap to a rifle, it starts charging the kill shot on the rifle or whatever else, right? The arcing slice and so on. So that's really good. Then we get a choice. Do we want to take Crack Shot, Warrior's Sprint, or Vengeful Return? So these all do different things. Let's read about Warrior's Sprint first. This means we run faster while holding any melee weapon, which is good. And it means that we do increased damage while we have swiftness on us. And it means that any movement skill we ever use will break immobilize off of us. So if an enemy tries to immob us, and then we use, say, the Greatsword 3 or this Savage Leap, it will just rip the immob off. So we start getting really fast, moving into everyone's faces. You can see we're running around quicker now. So that's really cool. We're going to run Warrior Sprint. There's a trait here, which is really good for buffing your rifle. And there's a trait down here as well, which means when we go in down state, our Vengeance gets really strong. We can maybe use that later. But for now, let's use Warrior Sprint. I love this thing. Then we also got this, Fast Hands. Look at this. Weapon swapping recharges faster. So, ordinarily, weapon swapping is on, what, like a 9-second cooldown? But now, we can weapon swap to the hammer. We can use Backbreaker on the mower. And then almost very quickly later, we can weapon swap again. So we can do that really quickly now, and that makes Warrior feel really fluid. No other profession in the entire game can swap like that. It's really, really awesome. And then we got this as well, Inspiring Battle Standard. So this makes our banners stronger. We didn't start training banners, but maybe as we get a few more points, we can start doing that, and we'll see how strong that is. Or we can go deeper into the discipline line, or we can learn an entirely new line. So there's all kinds of cool RPG decisions we get to make from here. Just as was similar with the Ellie, but we're going to keep going with this, and we'll see how we feel. So let's keep charging along. Are we anywhere particularly interesting right now? I don't know. There's some cool stuff. There's like an arena you can fight in up here against waves of enemies that sort of charge it. You get to vote for what kind of enemy you do battle with. Let's go up here and see if we have a look. You can do kind of two things for this heart. You can fight in this battle in the arena and you can vote, or you can go capture enemies to actually decide what you're going to fight against. So if we come over to this guy, if he's got any enemies for us to fight, we can speak to him and trigger it. He says, "You look like you're ready to hit the pit." What? This pit's here's for us to practice our fighting skills. Keep him sharp, cause some bruising. Well, that's what he says, but I don't know whether they actually have anything ready. It doesn't look like it. So what we'd have to do is go get them some creatures. We'd go capture some from the nearby lake, and then we'd fight them. But oh well. Here you can find a ton of crafters. So I've talked about crafting. I've not really shown you much. So basically, like here, you've got anvils, right? So there are lots of... because in most MMOs, right, the crafting, they're called professions, right? In Guild Wars, your class is your profession, and it's a discipline that is your crafting profession, right? So you can pick from any number of disciplines. You can become a weaponsmith, which is good at crafting swords, shields, great swords, stuff like that. You can become an armorsmith, who's good at creating heavy armor. You can become a jeweler, which can make all these trinkets, amulets, rings, earrings, stuff like that. Generally, being a jeweler is really good. So if we choose to become a jeweler, for example, he says, harness the beauty of jewels and unleash their potency to gain that edge in combat. So please teach me to be a jeweler. It says, you're now a jeweler. If you have the materials, you can visit this station to get started. So you can go to like a jeweling workbench now. And if you look here, like this powder and stuff, we can open up the crafting UI. And from here, we can start learning how to make all kinds of different things. We can turn copper ore that we can mine in the areas into ingots. And you can combine the ingots with various jewels and things. And you can start making rings. Again, it's a really big, long, detailed system that at the end of the day probably wouldn't be very entertaining to watch. So I'm going to withhold showing too much of it. But you get leather workers. If we were medium armor, we could be a leather worker. I love all the little details, right, on the scraps and things. And so, yeah, lots of them are around here. Huntsmen, artificers, cooks and chefs that can make different consumables. It's all pretty good. Meanwhile, as well here, look, there's actually a hero challenge. So let's fight this guy. Let's knock him down. We have a friend. So that looks like a thief there. He's got 2 pistols and he's just unloading crazy damage. He took him out almost entirely on his own. And there we go. We get a hero challenge complete. So with that, we might be able to buy a banner. No, we can't. We need to do 2 hero challenges to get this banner. Oh, well. We'll do the banners later, I guess, guys. We'll do that later. But also, just so happens, this is the guy that we wanted to meet. So remember the last episode, we heard that our father had a great friend, a Norn. And this is him here. He's sitting down. You can't quite tell. But this is a very, very big man.
You must be Valus's cub. I see the resemblance. Outstanding. Valus is like a brother to me, so I'm like an uncle to you.
Sure.
Then you be a good uncle and tell me where I can find him. It's for his own protection.
I'm not surprised. He's tricky even for a mesmer. Trouble follows your sire like a second tail. This time it was one of his buddies captured by the Separatists. We went to ransom him with some idol, but ogres ambushed us. I took the first hit and went down hard. They got the idol, and Valus went after them alone. The ogre's crawl is just northeast of here. If you want Valis and that idol, you'd better hurry. Your sire will need all the help he can get.
Right, okay, so that answers a little bit more. He has another friend, okay? So Fibhar's one of his friends. Our father has another friend who was stolen by the Separatists. These guys who want to continue the war, they stole him. And so Valis wants to save his friend's life, which is a fair thing to want to do. So he's going to offer to trade this powerful idol of Balthazar with the Separatists to save his friend's life. I don't know why Fibhar doesn't come help us out, but that's fine. Okay. And then, just as he's trying to trade the idol, ogres steal it from him, and he gets in trouble with the ogres, which is outrageous. So, worst order of things to have happened in. Pretty frustrating. Even worse, by the way, the earlier instance we did, we were right up here near this waypoint, and I never unlocked the waypoint. So I have to run all the way back, which is, like, awful. On the route, though, we do actually have another hero challenge we can do over here. So how about we finish this, and we can buy a banner. That should be pretty fun, right, guys? So what do we got here? Ethereal Vanguard Monument. Let's grab this. The old ruined letters read, "The Ethereal Vanguard will challenge all who are worthy. If anyone's worthy to challenge some ghosts, it's me, we say." And so, boom, we get a pretty dangerous little fight here, out in the open world. This is a hero challenge. This is like when we were a human and we were fighting that Skrit, the Windmill King. Similar situation, except it's lots of ghosts. We should probably focus on these ones first, because they're really going to hurt us. It says kick him to knock him down. We're still building adrenaline, you can see here. So, look, we're going to use a tier 3 flurry in a second. All right, let's use it on the main boss. So we'll just stack an ungodly amount of bleed on him and just do tons of damage. Luckily, we got some help from this guy as well, who just ran on over. Some engineer. So cool. We get another hero point. And we can spend that on buying a new skill. The Banner of Strength. Oh god, they've respawned here as well because someone else triggered it. I'm going to run away. So the Banner of Strength. This is a cool ability. Alright. Let's get rid of Kick, I guess, for now, right? So, Banner of Strength. What happens is we can summon this onto the ground here. And when we drop it, it's an actual item that if we stand near, it buffs us. And you might think, well, yeah, but then you're going to walk away from it and you're going to lose the power. But you can actually run up to it. You can pick it up and we can carry it with us wherever we go into battle. So look at this. We can actually carry it around now. It's like another weapon. It's a banner. So, and then we get 5 new skills because we have a new thing in our hands. So we get to attack people. We can stab them with our banner. We can strike someone and inflict vulnerability. We can inspire our allies, granting them swiftness. And remember, we do extra damage with swiftness now because of a trait we picked up a second ago. We can sprint with the banner. And you'll notice there from the tooltip, we remove immobilize from ourselves because of the trait we picked up. And lastly, we can plant it back down on the ground and get our regular stuff back, like so. So it's really, really, really good. Now, because it's a Banner of Strength, if you mouse over here, it says that we have improved power and improved condition damage because it's the Banner of Strength. There's lots of different banners available in the game. There's banners of defense, which increase your defensive stats, banner of tactics, banner of discipline, which increases like crit stuff, and then there's even an elite banner. An elite banner, guys. There's lots of cool elites, but it'll be a while before we unlock that slot. So, yeah, that's what banners are. And even better, remember, we just got a trait that improves them. So check it out, banners. Banners will also grant regeneration. So we get extra stats and regen from it. And the buffs that they apply are much stronger. Not to our allies, but only to us. So it's 50% better than it used to be because we have the trait. So that's going to be really cool. Basically, what we'll do is we'll go into a fight, we'll drop the banner down, and we'll start doing lots of damage because we have that there. So pretty fun stuff. And yeah, really now I've just got to walk back. That bridge is what you saw on the previous episode, this bridge over here. So there's no reason for you guys to watch this. I'll just cut ahead and I'll see you very soon. All right, here we go. So I've just walked off to the side ever so slightly to unlock this waypoint here at Watchtag Crag Tower, just so that we don't have that issue again. Now we'll go do the story. So another little thing, by the way, guys, I hope that it doesn't bore you too much, me talking about how the classes work and stuff. Especially if you've already played the class and you know. Just be aware, though, obviously, as the series goes along, I only have to explain this stuff once, and in future episodes, we'll have the gist of it, and we'll basically go story, and there won't be these moments where I explain that stuff, because we'll already know, right? But I think it's pretty fun to share. Alright, so hey guys, how's it going? Alexis is here. Clawspur says, ogres, separatists, fair. I say we wipe them all out.
Don't worry. We'll keep your sire safe until you get back.
Well, I hope they do. Alright, here's Emir. So remember, Emir was on our father's warband, and she seems to have it out for getting him back.
They're after Valis. What has that idiot done now?
She does not seem to like him at all. Valis? Papa? Daddy? Are you here?
Smooth as art, it's my cub. Let's see what you learned in that Farrar. Kill them all.
There he is! There he is! Hey, Dad! Alright, so we're in a fight. So we'll drop the banner down. And we'll get some big meaty hits done with the hammer. Look, they're already dead. Unbelievable. Hey, Dad.
Valis Smokemane. I can hardly wait to get you in front of a military tribunal. Under High Legion law, I arrest you for desertion.
You're making a mistake. Cedric's alive, and the idol's our only hope to keep him that way. He's one of us. We have to try.
Listen to me. Everyone's after this idol, which means it's powerful. We can't let the Separatists or the Sons of Svanir have it. Before we do anything else, we recover the idol. Valis' arrest can wait. My mission, my call. Fall in, Emmer. I'll take the heat if this goes south.
Well, damn. They mentioned the Sons of Svanir there, which is a Norn faction. I'm not sure why they're talking about that, because we haven't heard that the Sons of Svanir also want it. But I guess, look, we just the answer is clear. Nobody gets this idol except us. It would be a devastating situation if anyone else did. So let's move up to these ogres, let's break in, and let's take it back. It does seem like our dad's kind of messed up a little bit here, right? So, and if we're going to be, you know, true Char about this, maybe we sort of shouldn't care about, you know, being rude to him for that. Alright, let's take him out. Ogres, knock knock. The Char are coming, and you've got our warband to deal with. So you'd best be quaking. So we're going to go up there. Tons of enemies here. I forgot to bring our banner with us, which is pretty frustrating. Here we go. Let's use Earthshaker, right? So, boom. We can stun everyone. And then just as they stop being stunned, we can stomp, knock them all back. Oh, yeah. Love it. I want a new main hand weapon here. I like sword, but I really want to show you guys axe. We haven't had an axe yet, though, but axes are really badass. Axe is probably one of my favorite warrior weapons in the game, and we've still not seen any of it. Ow, these guys really hurt. I probably should have stayed with shield there and used that to block some attacks. So, you might think, is blocking really that good because you only block for a couple of seconds? The point is, though, you block, and that saves you time until your heal skill comes back up. And then once your heal skill comes back up, you might be able to make some plays again, right? So, it is tends to be much stronger than you'd at first think. Alright, we've got another door to break our way through here. Here we go. Let us in. I'm waiting for the door to get below 50%, and then we final thrust it. And look at all that damage we do. Awesome. Alright, hello? Is anybody home? Is this the idol? Is this it here? Team?
Leave while you still can. The idol is ours. Humans and Char always take from us.
They always take from us. Oh, dear.
Keep the leader busy. I'll grab the idol and wait for you outside the camp.
No way. I'm not letting you out of my sight.
No time to squabble. Cedric's dead if we don't act now.
Who cares about Cedric? You cannot trade that idol to the Separatists. So, Valis, our dad, just grabbed it and ran while we have to deal with the ogres. Unbelievable. And yes, it does seem like everyone wants this, right? It's okay. We can just keep him CC chained. Bulls rush. Oh my god, it's so good. He can't do a goddamn thing. Looked like he had a banner of some kind as well. Valis! So he just... What a jammy dodger there. He's just out immediately. Let's try and get out as fast as we can. So on the top right, it says we need to rendezvous with him. We barely even got a chance to say a goddamn word to him. It was just all action the whole time. Seems like he's back the way we came. Here we go. There he is. He's stealthed, actually. He's hiding in shadows. He's hiding in the shadows of the ruin over here. Dude, what's going on?
The Separatists won't wait. You handle this. I've got to make the ransom drop.
What Separatists? Where? Who? Well, who's attacking us now? More ogres, maybe?
That worthless. He tricked us and deserted us again. Cedric is dead, but Valis keeps playing us for fools. I knew this would happen.
Why would he take the idol unless there's a chance Cedric's alive? He's not trying to sell it or keep it. He's trying to use it to get his bandmate back.
That's your story. I say we need to find Valis to find the truth. His illusions won't save him from me. I'll have my scouts scour the area. They'll pick up his trail. It's just a matter of time. I'll meet you in the Black Citadel when I know more.
So who's right here? Is Amur right? What is our dad trying to do? Is he trying to keep the idol for himself or for some nefarious purposes, or is he genuinely just trying to get his bandmate back? Either way, he probably shouldn't give it to the Separatists, right? This deal that he's rushing off to go to. Not a very good idea. The thing is as well, he's a mesmer, right? So he's a caster. He's like the manipulative sort of rogue mage, if you will. And that's probably going to cause a lot of the other Char to view him very mistrustfully. Ymir obviously represents that very well. So yeah. All right, here we get some new badass weapons we can choose from here. We get another great sword we can pick. We get another hammer we can pick, or a longbow. I haven't shown you any longbow gameplay yet. And you'll notice here that these are adamant guard weapons. So remember, the adamant guard are the Char that defend the Black Citadel, and there is a skin set purely for them. So maybe once we finish this arc, we'll change all of our weapons to look like adamant guard stuff. But yeah, we got a longbow. I'll equip that instead of the hammer. 6 new skills, sorry, because we get a new burst skill as well. Should be pretty good. Clawspell, what do you think, dude?
Many knives.
He doesn't think anything.
A simple job.
Alexis doesn't think anything. Emir, do you say anything?
What do you want?
If Tribune Brimstone didn't want him alive, I'd chop Valis' head right off right now and kick it all the way back to the Citadel, she says. Lucky for him, the Tribune does want him alive. Whew. So yeah, Valis is only being kept remotely safe because Ritlock just wants him brought back for questioning. All right, well, let's see what we can do. So, their scouts are going to look for him, and we're just going to go back to the Black Citadel to see what they find out. I'll see you guys when we have some news. So, we're back at our home instance. We haven't returned here for a while. What did they just say? Okay, I think I missed what they said.
This weapon is getting too warm. I'll need to replace it.
Man, everybody feels so chatty and good. This is cool. So this is our home instance. We come back. A little thing you might notice on my mini-map down here, the compass, there's a ton of icons everywhere. So one of the big things you can do in Guild Wars 2 is as the story progresses, various different NPCs will come and chat and speak. So if you make a decision that leaves one character alive instead of the other, that character that survives will probably come here and be free to chat with at any point. The other thing, though, is a lot of the end game rewards and systems in the game unlock collectibles back here at the home instance. So if I want every day, I can kind of return here and I can gather a ton of stuff. I can gather oysters, and I can gather airship cargo, and I can gather all this stuff. This is all related to the expansions, copper ore, silver ore. Like, one of the things that's very fun to do in this game is try and max out your home instance and get all of the stuff based on all different festivals and whatnot. It would be crazy for me to mention all of what all of this is in this one video, but it's kind of a fun thing. One of the things we get as well, by the way, is just a straight up free hero point if we want, from one of the stories from like many years ago, actually. But that's unlocked on my account, so I can get this here. And hey, that means we get more stuff, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, it's always a good time when you could get back here. You'll also notice there's a ton of cats around, so one of the main things you can do is unlock tons of cats. I got like a little series where I go with a friend collecting all of those. But yeah, there's even a garden they added to the game very recently, so you can do gardening. I'm growing potatoes, of course. But yeah, for now, the scouts have got some news for us. Hey, Amir, what's going on?
Progress, Legionnaire. It took some doing, but my scouts finally tracked down your runaway sire. He's holed up near Dunrock Gulch. If we move quickly, in force, we can pin him down and stop this before it goes any farther.
Agreed. I'll meet you at the Gulch. Do nothing until I arrive. If Valis is dead when I get there, I'll put your head in a bag and set it on fire.
Oh, we're so threatening all the time. So, yeah, I don't think that we, by the way, are necessarily saying that because we care a lot about Valis. I think it's just because our orders are to bring him in alive, and we care about that, the chain of command, right? This is all we're doing this for Ritlock here, really. So yeah, this is pretty cool, by the way, because obviously we're in Chapter 2. This is level 20 story we're doing right now. And what that actually means is we get story on the second map. So far, all you've been seeing is the plains of Ashford south of the wall. Well, finally now, we're going to go north of the wall, out of the side gate, out of the Black Citadel, to a place called the Diessa Plateau, which is the site of some pretty interesting locations. I'm not sure whether the main story takes us to all of them, really. But we'll see what we can find out. You can see there's that far gate over there. Getting more waypoints as we go. Here you got these great statues of powerful, historic, important Char. Here's Carla Scorchrazor herself, I mentioned in a previous video. In the year 1079 AE she was born. That's the end of Guild Wars 1, she was born then. She died in the year 1116 AE. So, Grand Cub of Pyre Fiershot, Carla Scorchrazor led the rebellion against the Flame Legion and their domination of the other legions. Herself a member of the Blood Legion, she gathered allies from across all 3 legions and trained female soldiers in secret to become a formidable force. Her rebellion turned the tide in the final battle of the Shaman Cast on the plains of Gogolhain. After the Flame Legion's surrender, Carla fell victim to an ignoble act of treachery. The Imperator of the Flame Legion was so shamed by his defeat that, despite offering his surrender, he stabbed Carla with a poisoned dagger. She died, mouthing the words, "At least I die knowing my sisters are free." Her great sacrifice continues to inspire soldiers of all legions. So that's a story that actually occurred between the 2 games. It's a part of the history of the world now, but we as players only get, like, second-hand. We only hear about it through these statues, through the legends. We haven't actually been able to play that and see that.
One piece.
Yeah, even with the truce, I never thought a Char would rescue a human.
It's got nothing to do with the truce. In our city, everyone obeys the same rules.
Wow, so it seems like something was going on with some humans in the city here. They're called plebeians, which I find hilarious. But alright, so let's move on through. Into the Diessa Plateau, second map. There's a very cool dungeon in this match that takes you underwater and stuff. A mini dungeon, I should say, actually. Not a full-on dungeon, not a big story dungeon, but a mini one. So here we are. We're at a place, by the way, called the Town of Nolan. In the original game, one of the bigger missions took place here. It was the Nolani Academy mission. This was once a place where human mages trained. And it's now obviously fallen into disrepair and it's only Char around. And it's actually become a Farrar cub now. A Farrar for cubs, I'm pretty sure, down there. We'll return here again later in the story. But
We have a lot of estates and farm villages located in Diessa Plateau that provide a critical service to the legions. Trouble is, we're under constant assault by separatists and ghosts. Our soldiers fight tooth and nail to keep these nuisances at bay, but it's a never-ending battle. They would appreciate any support you can give.
Would they now? I'm sure they will. All right. So, sort of teaches us about some of the hearts in the region, some of the basic things we can help out with. We can collect scrap metal for people. We can disable mines.
More to explore.
As we explore out here, we will start noticing that the separatists are a bigger threat in this region of the world, and we'll find a lot of humans in open rebellion to the Char. Like right there, look, there's a separatist right in front of us, and the hearts and things will be about dealing with those. Obviously, we're going to take a bit of a beeline, though, to get to our father as soon as possible. You'll also notice, like, that separatist, it said on his flavor text he can do lots of things. The game starts to get more complicated now. The hearts that we do, remember I said that a lot of it was simplified in the early maps? Well, now that we're moving away from the early maps, things start getting a lot more complicated and increasingly so. But right over here, this is where our story is. Misplaced faith. What are you doing, Valus? Get the same concept art here of Ritlock. Hey guys, Clawspurt. Idols and sacrifices, he says. See what happens when you worship spirits? Valus ran off again too. That's a bad habit. We'll break him out of it, or we'll just break him, we say. Alexis?
Need a head bashed in?
You don't have much to say, Alexis, do you, really? Alright, and Amir.
We're waiting. The way looks clear, so I say we get going.
God, sorry to keep you waiting there. She's bloodthirsty, isn't she? She is actually really, really desperate to take him out. Alright, so let's sneak forward. We'll break into this separatist camp, and we'll see what we can figure out. So this guy's called a Separatist Stormcaller. I think named after a very famous artifact of the humans, Stormcaller itself. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, so we got the bow, don't we? We got longbow. So, longbow is obviously a ranged weapon. We can stand back. It's not like we just plink away. So, rangers get longbow, right? And they sort of, like, do pretty good single target damage. This, again, is a hybrid weapon. It can do good power damage. It can do good condition damage. But we can kind of be a bit more siegey with this. We can, like, hit massive AoE. With the bow. Look, we just blew it open with one attack there. So I'll sort of show you how this looks. It's all about fiery, massive, ignited arrow attacks, which is very Char-like, as we saw the Flame Legion were actually doing before. So, where's Valus? Separatists? There's an Iron Legion marksman in that camp. Valus, there you are. What's going on, man? Did you give them the idol?
Valus, you're coming with me. Your treason is bad enough, but we can't let the Separatists have that idol. It's too powerful.
Burn it all! You're going to get Cesric killed! Back off, and let me do this one thing. No magical idol is worth Cedric's life, no matter how powerful.
Stand down. We tried it your way, and you ran out on us. Don't worry. I won't let them hurt Cedric.
You don't understand. We have to make the trade. Cedric wouldn't be in this mess if it weren't for...
Bickering char. How cute. Wouldn't want to interrupt, so we'll just bury you all together. You can bicker in your grave.
Oh, these humans do not like us. So we get some classic char versus human combat.
You coward! Send it
Ha!
over!
Balthazar's idol has given me the power to exterminate you
I'll
all.
cut you all to pieces.
Oh my god. So they use the idol, and look, it's an avatar of Balthazar. An incredibly powerful flaming creature that we have to deal with. So we're going to stand back. We're going to use our bow to kill him. So our auto attacks these double shots. Our skill 2 is we send 2 burning arrows out. The skill 3 is this great arc attack. If you look over here, there's that Beastmaster. We fire this super big arrow, and look, it lands, and it chunks in for damage. The 4 is a smoldering arrow that blinds someone. The 5 is pin down. So we shoot this big attack here. We bleed the hell out of him and stop him from being able to move. And then finally, as we build adrenaline, we can get the burst skill. It's called Combustive Shot, all right? We ignite the area, burning foes. It increases its effect with adrenaline level. Actually, I'll tell you what, this is more of a conditioned damage weapon these days. It used to be more of a flat damage weapon, especially with like the arcing arrow. But yeah, so we get this giant fire field. Look at that. We can cast that with our bow.
You've been asking for this for a long time, Ballas. Come with me, quietly, or I'll execute your sentence here and now.
I was so close. I'll kill you, Emma. It's your fault he's dead.
Give me a reason. Come on!
Enough. Tribune Brimstone wants Ballas brought to the Citadel intact, to stand before the tribunal.
I'll take him. I want to have a long conversation with him anyway.
Not alone you won't. Warband, you will escort the prisoner and see that he arrives alive. Cut down anyone who interferes with that order.
Oh god, wow, so we may have missed that in the moment there, but all of this was Ballas was trying to save his friend's life by trading the idol with the Separatists. The Separatists killed his friend anyway. Here's Cedric. That's his body. He's dead anyway. So no one is happy right now. This is pretty bad. Emma wants our dad dead anyway. Ballas has now lost everything. I suppose we destroyed the idol at least through our superior battle skills. But yeah, not a good situation to be in. At least the idol's out of the picture. But damn. So what do you guys think? What is our father a traitor? Is this you know, something terrible that he's done here? Trying to trade away this just to save his bandmate's life? Putting the warband first? Well, so we return to the Black Citadel. Our warband has done the escorting here. And we're actually going to go to a place called the Stockade now. So this is the prison that's underneath the core. It's the sneaky little entrance down here. And we'll find that our father has been put in chains down here. And we get a very cool decision as to what to do with him. So in we go. Hey, Clawspurt.
Fear is as much a weapon as your blade.
I tell you this, I hope I never end up down here again. I mean ever. So he's like a thief. He's been here before, presumably. Someday I'll make you tell me that story, we say. Alright, so what kind of scum is in here? What's in the stockade?
Try, you can at least feign.
Jesus.
You brought this death sentence on yourself, and as your legionnaire, I choose the method.
Wow, so who's this over here? So there's literally just a Flame Legion guy here who's been caught up. This dude's dead, a dead soldier in this one. It's looking pretty gross in here, right? Hey, Emma, I'm glad you didn't kill him on the way. Ballas is behind bars where he belongs. Once he's dead, we'll have done our duty to the legions. It's a good feeling, isn't it? I'm not sure Ballas deserves to die, we say. Of course you'd say that. You're his cub. Trust me, Ballas has been involved in traitorous activities for a long time. Really? Why didn't you report him sooner, we ask? Well, she says, because I kept hoping he'd come around. Of course, I didn't realize how deeply he and Cedric were involved in trading with the Separatists until Cedric got grabbed. Right, so that's an idea, right? What if Cedric got grabbed because this was a long, ongoing thing of them trading away to the Separatists? That would be terrible if our father had been doing that. But we don't know, so our character says, well, it's your word against his. And she says, I guess it is, but it doesn't matter. The Tribunal and Brimstone believe me. Are you going to contradict them? Only if they're being misled, we say. So I actually think he's outside of the cage right now. I think he was supposed to spawn in that cage, but it might have bugged as we came in here. But hey, dude.
You disloyal, pitiful excuse for a war bandmate. You'll fight in the Bane unarmed, with no healing, and that's that.
This is wrong. Valis is still a soldier. He deserves a soldier's death. At least let him defend himself.
There's no point in appealing to a sense of fair play. She has none.
How's this, Legionnaire? If you execute Valis yourself, I'll let him fight back.
He's my father.
Take it or leave it.
If you care so much about Valis's dignity, then let's see how far you're willing to go for him.
So we get a very interesting decision now. Okay. We can speak to him. And he says, I've made mistakes, perhaps more than my fair share, but this wasn't one of them. I was trying to do the right thing. I don't deserve to die. Can you help me? So is treason against the High Legions, and Blood Legion especially, but to save a bandmate justified? What are you not telling me, we ask. He says it's complicated. So there's more to the story, apparently. You're a good soldier from a good warband. Your mother and I have always been proud of you, but not everyone is who they say they are. What? What is it you expect me to do? So he asks us to turn our back. Turn your back. Let your guard down, he says. My only chance is to escape so I can prove myself to everyone. You want me to just let you escape? You have to trust me, he says. Help me get out of here, and I'll tell you everything. No, you tell me now. I'll tell you, if I tell you now, he says, they'll execute me, and then you'll be in danger. My only hope is to gather the evidence that will prove my claims. Evidence I didn't have for the trial. What do you say? So we get two choices. Number one, alright, but I'm risking my neck for you. If you betray me, you kill me. Or, I can't go against the tribunal, but I will make sure your sentence is carried out honorably. So, we can literally choose to kill our father. It's a bit like the choice earlier where we could choose let the guy go or just brutally murder him. Now, the first time I ever played this game, I went for this option. I was like, hell yeah, I'm a Char, I'll take him out, like, no mercy. But I actually prefer the story. We're gonna hear him out. We're gonna see what he actually has to say. We're really risking our neck by doing this. We're actually gonna let him escape. This slippery fish, we're gonna let him out again. And we're gonna remind him that if he betrays us, he's just killed his only son. Or as far as we know. Misplaced faith completed. So there you have it, guys. What on earth is gonna happen going forward from this? I will see you in the very next video where we will wrap this up and move on to chapter 3. Next episode should be a pretty interesting one as well, because if you remember, once upon a time there was another member of our warband who seemed to have died at the start when we went into the vault with Duke Baradin, and that might be about to rear its head as well.
Come up with a body part that begins with it. It has to be a body part or organ you can rip out. No repeating. I'll start. Heart.
Tooth.
Throat. Drink.